Hello, everybody. I don't know why it is, but I seem to giggle or laugh every time it goes live. I don't know why. It just kind of gets me all excited or something. So, we are really thrilled to be here today to introduce you to one of our co-hosts for our upcoming event. But before we go ahead and do that, first I wanted to take a moment to acknowledge those in our sisterhood who have family and friends or they themselves are impacted by Hurricane Ida. I know there's a lot happening in the South, especially in Louisiana, um, and I believe Mississippi. There's a lot of people displaced right now and being impacted by Mother Nature. And so I wanted to just take a moment and to acknowledge that to our audience and to send positive vibes and prayers to all of those who are being impacted by the hurricane. So today we are really thrilled to have a short mini interview with our co-host, Holly. But before we introduce our friend here today, I would like to tell our audience a little bit about myself and the platform for those who do not know a lot about Lisa Harris and Company. So my name is Lisa Harris, and I'm an author, a storyteller, a narrative coach, recently certified in narrative therapy, and the CEO and founder of Lisa Harris and Company. And Lisa Harris and Company is a personal development and coaching business that connects, guides, and transforms women's lives through the power of storytelling. So we were thrilled in 2020 to be able to still connect with our audiences. And we have done that through our online events. And we call those events Unveiled Beauty Holding Hands. And it was really created in the moment. It was created for women to still be able to connect, share, and comfort each other during such challenging times. And I know, especially mentioning the hurricane and the ongoing challenges of, I don't know if we say post-pandemic or not anymore. I mean, we're kind of still in it, right? So it still is a great space to be able to connect with our community online. And we're excited because we are jumping back into our series. So our Holding Hands series starts again next week. Is it next week already? It is. Next week. So we are excited for our fall series. We have 3 events, September, October, and November. And this first event is going to be on Thursday, September 9th at 7 o'clock. And this event is called Self-Love, Affirmations, Self-Beliefs, and Forgiveness. Really, really powerful stuff. So we know many of our network are mothers, and we know that you're out there trying to get kids ready for school. We hope that you take some time for yourself and set aside, maybe get a sitter or invite your husband to do a little of the heavy lifting next Thursday. So, with that, we are excited to have 4 incredible women co hosting this event. And I would like to introduce you to one of our co hosts and give her a chance to tell you a little bit about herself. So, please welcome Holly OHanlon. Did I say it right? We didn't do a practice on that.
You did. Well done.
Wonderful. Welcome, Holly. I would love for you to tell our audience a little bit about you and maybe a little bit about self-love, this topic, why you wanted to co-host this event.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me, Lisa, and thank you for the work that you do and that you put out in the world and these events, how you hold space for women to explore and talk about and be vulnerable and talk about hard things. I've been to several of your events and I just appreciate the space you create. So thank you. A little bit more about me. I'm a leadership and well-being coach. And I really work with mainly women leaders who want to go from overwhelmed and stressed out and unsure of themselves to more clarity, more courage, and just more calm. And, just being able to show up in the world in a more calm and courageous way and stay in connection with others. Because when we get overwhelmed and when we get stressed and tired and we're unsure of ourselves, we can start to self-protect and we can start to disconnect from each other. And I have definitely been in that space, and I still am some days, as we talked about before hopping on this call. It's a journey and it's a practice. But I love, I truly believe that we need more women leaders in the world, and I love to hold space for them to figure out how they shine bright. And part of that, and why this event topic in particular was interesting to me, is a big part of that is self-love, and we how we think about ourselves, how we talk about ourselves, how we stand up for ourselves and set boundaries. And I'll be honest, when I signed up to be the co-host, I thought, do I love myself? I'm not sure. What has been my self-love journey? So, it is truly a practice, and it gave me the chance and kind of the kick in the butt to really think about how do I love myself? What does that mean? For me, a lot of it is around trust and really doing what's right for me, what's right for the people around me, setting boundaries, taking care of myself, whatever that looks like for that day. And so when I think about the work that I've done on myself to be confident and courageous enough to show up in the world and do the work that I love, and take care of myself, and the work that I do with so many of my clients, self-love is at the heart of it.
Yeah.
It just truly is, having grace and compassion for ourselves, and being able to step into the world is from that place of love and compassion it feels so much better than coming from a place of fear, which often is where I think we come from.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I can't say it better. I could say it different, but you and I are so aligned in so many ways, and all of that is just incredible. And I think what's really important is courage and confidence comes from being courageous, and we have to explore that with our vulnerability. And I think that's really important to be able to tap into, especially for women leaders, because I think what's really important when we talk about leadership and we talk about vulnerability and we talk about courage is women lead differently, and having the courage to be able to acknowledge that and step into that is really can be a beautiful thing, but very, very hard and very vulnerable. So
Absolutely.
I'm really excited about this event. We did a similar event back in February because it was Valentine's Day. And so we focused on self-love back in Valentine's Day. And what I think is really fascinating when it comes to self-love is, and this is my narrative coaching and my narrative background speaking, but the meaning of words means different things to different people. And I think what you and your other co-hosts have put together for this event does explore that a little bit as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is the meaning of words, the meaning of words that we say to ourselves, and just what do certain words mean to us. So that's going to be really interesting to explore as it relates to self-love. So, there's a lot of different things going on in the world these days. There's a lot of different events, and I know a lot of people some are very zoomed out as it relates to our online events, and we acknowledge that. We do still think this is a beautiful space to share in community, and it has been for me. This space has been a really special connection for me to meet other women. So with all the things going on and all the noise, I ask you, Holly, why do you think women should come to this event? And, what has this event and this platform meant to you? Maybe to kind of give women a little bit of a insight.
Yeah, sure. So, as I mentioned, I've been to several of these events, and, I think what I appreciate the most about this is it's an opportunity to hear women in particular, women's lived experiences. And these are specific topics. But there's, you can go to a lot of workshops. I give a lot of workshops. You can go to certain sessions and get tools and tips and strategies and stuff. And those are all interesting and can be really helpful. And I also think that just being in community and hearing each other's stories can do a couple of things. One, it makes you realize you're not alone. And I think these topics that we've had, like motherhood and self-love, and, just how we think about our bodies, we're not alone in this. And so hearing those stories and being able to resonate, and there's a lot of head nods when people are when the women are talking. It just gives you perspective that you're not alone, and it also provides ideas. Like how do people define self-love? How do you define self-love for yourself? So it gives you some awareness for yourself. It gives you the acknowledgement that you're not alone. And I've usually walked away with some really interesting reflections and ideas to, move forward in whatever topic it is.
Yeah, I appreciate that. One of the things that we say a lot in our messaging is we aren't experts. Many of the women who are co-hosting definitely have, training experience in a lot of different areas. And it may be in something like life coaching, which I know you have experience in, but we are also just women. We are experiencing life. And so sometimes we're getting it right. Sometimes we're practicing. Sometimes we're getting it wrong. And I think that's also what makes this space really special, is that we're saying, hey, I know things, but right now I'm just me. I'm just me. And sometimes we don't have a lot of places where we can just be. That's a thing I say a lot.
Absolutely.
I just want to be me.
Yeah.
And we invite you to just be you in our space. And for those of you who are newer to this platform or have never heard of Lisa Harrison Company, have never seen my face in your life, Holly was the same way last year. So I don't know Holly from a previous world or another connection. It was literally stumbling upon each other in kind of the social media or online world. And so I do really appreciate what you have to say, Holly, as being somebody who hasn't been really in deep into our platform for years. So I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Was there anything else that you would like to share with our audience here tonight about yourself or about the event? I know you have a little bit more insight than I do because I try and let my co-hosts lead these events with all of their expertise and all of their lived experiences, kind of to plan it together. So you have a little bit more insight than I do.
Yeah, I would say, I think this topic is really important, especially for women, for everyone. But I think we can all agree we need a little more love in the world, and it starts with ourselves. So just if this concept of self-love and compassion and grace resonates with you and feel like you could use a little bit more, I just highly recommend just being in the space with me and with Lisa and with 3 other amazing co-hosts. I would say that was the other thing I would say. We have a wonderful agenda that is going to not only allow you to just be and listen, but also self-reflect. So we'll have a couple of exercises that you can do around self-love. And it's just a safe space. It's, you can show up however you need to show up, learn something about yourself, be in community. And my 3 other co-hosts are just incredible people as well. So
yes,
I'm excited and I hope to see you there.
Yes, I'm excited. So for everyone who's joined us today, we invite you to join us again on Thursday. And our event is called Unveiled Beauty, Self-Love, Affirmations, Self-Beliefs, and Forgiveness. And we'll be covering a lot of topics underneath that. And it is going to be on Thursday, September 9th from 7 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I say Central because over the past year, we have had more women across the country join us, although we are based here in Minneapolis. And one of our co-hosts will be joining us from Colorado. Mm-hmm. So we're excited to meet new women all across the country, and we hope to see you there. So that's all we have for today. So thank you, Holly, for joining us. And thank you, everybody else.
My pleasure. Thank you. See you Thursday.
All right. Bye, everyone.